Xi'an is a city in central China with 13 million people. It is a vibrant city that mixes the old and the new. Nestled between modern skyscrapers are old temples and historic buildings. An ancient city wall surrounds the city center, once protecting its citizens from invaders. It is now a tourist attraction where one can ride a bicycle or run a marathon along its perimeters. With a GDP of 167 billion USD in 2023, the city boasts numerous industries and services, from finance to technology, manufacturing to import-exports, tourism, and colleges and universities. Xi'an is home to some 10,000 expats from all over the world. How did they make their way here? What motivates them to stay? In this video, we explore why expats made this emerging first-tier Chinese city their home, their experiences living here, and the implication of the phrase, geography is destiny.
Okay. I came to China 5 years ago. First, my friend was working here. She was working as an English teacher, as an ESL teacher at a training school. And that time, I had my job back home in Armenia. And I had no plans to come to China, to be honest. But then she said, I'm here. And it's a different culture, and I know that you like Eastern culture. What if you try it? So then I'm like, okay, let me give it a try.
So I've lived in China for 14 years.
Ooh.
Yeah, a long time. I've worked for 14 years as an English teacher. What made me come to China? I was tired of a 8 to 5 job, sitting in an office, working on a computer, wearing a suit. So I thought I'd do some traveling and working as well. So the original plan was come to China for a year and then hop around countries. Obviously, that didn't happen.
I was able to get a pretty good job working for a high-tech company in Ottawa, Canada, before I even graduated. I was 21 years old.
And this was still back in Ottawa, in Canada.
Yeah.
And then how did you end up in China?
Well, it was the job that I always wanted. Right, it was a job that I wasn't even qualified for. I was paid well, had an adult life, and I realized that it was really boring. So I thought, this can't be my whole life. There's so much I haven't done yet, and I thought, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to travel around the world, and I'm going to do a bunch of things I want to do, and then I will come back in a few years and surrender to adulthood.
And I'm from Croatia originally, which is a country in Europe for those who are not at ease with geography, a small country. And the first time I ever came to China was actually 2010, 2011, but only as a tourist. I had a friend here, so I just came to visit. And basically since then, China has always been like a dream to come back to. But it wasn't until 2018 that I came back and started working here, and I've been here since. So it's going to be 5.5 years now.
5.5 years. Wow.
20 years.
Wow, that long?
Yeah, 2004. I was in mainland China.
The whole time you were here?
Yeah, pretty much. Apart from visits back to Europe, Scotland. I came to China after secondary school. I was interested as a traveller. I was researching different places, and I met people who had been to China, and I was very interested by the Chinese culture and also the development of China in the world. And I thought,
yeah, but most people would do that for like a year or two. You're doing it for 20.
Yeah. I didn't go back. So I had a place at university in Scotland which was deferred, but then I eventually went to university in Xi'an, and I wanted to stay longer. And yeah, no, it's been a while now.
You speak the language now, but do you feel like you're a local in China? Do you ever miss home and like miss Canada, wants to eventually be able to move back?
Not like maybe specific things, but overall, I prefer life in China. I don't really feel like I'm a local, but I also feel the longer I stay here, the more I look at Canadians like from a third person perspective.
Yeah, I feel quite local after a long time. Then again, I mean, because I've been in this city for a long time, I know where to go, what to do, how to get around places and stuff. I mean, it's not bad. it's a good place. Although, again, even after 14 years, nobody's ever going to look at me and think of me as not being a foreigner.
Now I know. Now I speak Chinese and I can communicate with no problem with locals. So that's why it's easier for me now.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I also don't know how people can live in China without speaking the language because.
But you did.
I did, yeah, I did, because when I first came, and that was a small town and county, actually, like very small county, and only few people could speak English, and of course, I didn't expect them to speak English because I'm in their country. My point was that I should learn Chinese, but at that point, learning Chinese seemed a bit difficult for me. So it took me almost 2 years to realize that I can, because other people also did. And then I started learning Chinese by myself.
Expats do in general, do you think, for fun in China, living in China?
Well, when I was young and fearful, there was a lot of bars and things like that. Sometimes, well, depending on the group of friends, you can get-togethers and dinners and stuff. I would say at the moment, especially in Xi'an, it's mostly just bars, meet at bars. I mean, there's obviously some groups that, I don't know, I mean, years ago I was doing ultimate frisbee. I had a football team. But again, they come and go because expats here come and go, so maybe they don't exist anymore. Now I just do golf.
What do we do for fun? I mean, apart from playing board games.
Yeah, we do a lot of
well, I suppose it depends on expats. Younger ones like going out, bars, clubbing, and all that. I used to like hiking a lot, like mountains, or just walking the city. I don't really do that much. I'm maybe out of shape as well. Time, responsibilities, kids, all that things. But traveling, hiking, board games, people who like food, they definitely can go on what they call them foodie experiences, all that stuff. I am kind of picky, so that doesn't really apply to me that much.
I don't feel like a local, but I'm part of the community. I'm part of I'm not a local. I don't think anyone can really become a local, but you're accepted. Like, even though I'm not a local, but I feel like welcomed in China. I still feel like I'm a guest in a sense, which I think is true.
After 20 years.
Yeah. But I also feel like I've taken a lot of the culture and things, so I'm kind of at one with the Chinese people. So that's all good, and I accept their culture and their family culture and things like that. Yeah.
I mean, I feel quite at home here. Again, after such a long time, when people ask me, where's your hometown? I think this is my hometown now. It's where I live. My wife is from here. My kid's half Chinese, so it's my home now.
Yeah. Geography is indeed destiny, as where people live and work greatly affects their lifestyle and mental psyche on a daily basis. It affects the friends they make, the opportunities they have, and their quality of life. I've learned that those willing to move to a different culture are adventurous, courageous, and open-minded. I learned that no matter how long you live in a place that's different from where you grew up, you may still feel like an outsider looking in. But I also learned that home is a relativistic concept, and it is where your mind makes it to be. Geography might be destiny, but destinies are not set in stone, and those willing to take those steps to change their surroundings ultimately can change the course of their lives.